What is up? Happy Monday. Sports of the program is brought to you by NCAA National Certified Alarms, long-term contracts, license number 645. Man, I'm beat. Stayed up late watching the football game. I had a little party at my house, and I went out. I got some food in the morning. I was like, oh, cool. I'm gonna have a nice little party at my house. Just inviting one person, good friend of mine, Bell K. I invited Bell K to the party. We went out. We got snacks. We got all kinds of snacks, right? I think my wife's like, what kind of snacks does Bell want? I'm like, let's get some good chicken wings. Let's get some of this good stuff over here. Bell, what'd you think of it?
Well, I'm never one to turn down a free meal, but I wasn't there.
Yeah. I turned to my wife as we're in line. I go, he's going to flake. I get a text like 30 minutes later. I don't feel very good. I don't think I'm going to come over.
Well, I didn't feel good. I still don't.
You know what? Whatever. That's all I got to say to that. Super Bowl, I watched it. A lot of people did. I have the numbers here in a little bit. 27 million people take. So 80 million people work like 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. About 125 million people work just Monday through Friday, kind of regular hours, or, like Tuesday through Saturday kind of thing. 26.2 million people, almost $6 billion of productivity gone today. 26.2 million people not showing up for work, including Ken, who texted Bell and I today and said, I don't feel very good. I just stayed up late last night.
Well, you know what makes that happen?
What?
Staying up too late.
Yeah, that's probably one of those things. I was like, dude, that's totally fine. I get it. You're a quitter. Whatever, bro. Quitter. Bunch of you guys.
Sorry, Ken. It's going to be 3 hours of slamming on you.
No. I get it, because every once in a while you get that weird situation where you do not sleep at all. And like every Monday, Ken and I go, dude, I just feel like I'm like my shows during the week. I've got usually, and the funny thing is I've got so much to talk about on Monday, but I think that overdoes it at times. I mean, this was a little bit easier. Obviously, the Super Bowl last night, which wasn't a pretty Super Bowl at all. It wasn't very sexy. The reality was it was pretty much a game that was over early because one team's defense is ridiculous. The other's defense is good, but not ridiculous.
Seattle reigns above them all in the NFL. The Seahawks, Super Bowl champions for the second time.
He deserved that bad. What an incredible job he's done.
What a shot. Take it all in.
The Mike McDonald, the guy who is the coach, won the game. Man, that guy's story's great.
The guy from the Doobie Brothers coaches?
Yeah. Yes, he does. He said, I came from somewhere back in my long ago. But he, second year, I love this guy. So this guy he graduates from Georgia. He's got like a master's degree in some sort of like sports management. And he coaches high school football. And in 2013, he's out of a job. And he's like, I'm going to go get a real job. I got a life coming. So he goes and he gets a contract with KMPG, the accounting firm. I'm going to go join Wall Street, Middle America. And the Ravens call and say, hey, we'd like you to be an intern here for us. And he's like, okay. And then here he is 14 years later, and he's a Super Bowl champion in his second season as a head coach, which was great. But that game, it was nothing. It was just... It was, I said what pissed me off is they called back that touchdown run at the end from Ken Walker Jr., or Kenny Walker the third, which bummed me out because I think I predicted 36-14 or something like that, and it ended up being 29-13. So it was close. It was just never going to happen, though. The game was just, it shows you defense wins. And here's the other thing. This is the new formula in the NFL. The new formula in the NFL is win early with your young players because eventually they're going to want money. Money. And when you have a salary cap, guess what happens? Those players, they get money elsewhere. Oh, yeah. They get money elsewhere. And that's what's going to happen with this team. And they also got a good deal on Sam Darnold. And how about that guy, right? Like Sam Darnold, so I'm from Southern California. I'm from the OC. He's from the OC. And everybody knew who he was. And he went to, USC, and he was all of the things at USC. And then he ends up getting a situation where you're going to go to the worst team in sports is the Jets. Just awful. That's where you go to look, they broke Aaron Rodgers on the first play of the season. And then after a couple crappy years, goes to Carolina, starts a little bit. Then they bring in Baker. Nothing ever happens. Then from there, he goes to San Francisco, spends a year as a backup to the last pick in the draft. And he learns. And he learns from their coaches. Then he goes to Minnesota, does what he does last year, then goes there, still on a cheap contract, helps them win. And then he gets to go, of course, to Disneyland, which was also the thing. They brought that back last night, which made me laugh. I haven't seen this one in a while.
Sam Darnold and Kenneth Walker III. You and the Seattle Seahawks had just won the Super Bowl. What are you going to do next?
We're going to Disneyland!
So there's $100,000 free and Disneyland. I think they're going to Disneyland today. So Kenneth Walker III, who won the Super Bowl, he's the MVP last night. His dad went to the game. Which everybody's like, oh, no, his dad goes to every game except he never goes to the games. He flies out every week with his son to the place where they're going to play, but he never goes to the game because crowds make him nervous and he freaks out. It's the first time he's seen his son play in the NFL. That's pretty awesome.
Can't they just give him put him in the owner's booth or something? Owner's box?
Owner's booths are expensive, and in the Super Bowl, you're probably talking $3-4 million.
Yeah, but his son could just go to the owner and go, look, my dad freaks out around crowds. Can we get him a seat in there?
I think if you're going to go to any game, if crowds make you nervous, the Super Bowl is it because it's mostly corporate sponsors. So these people are there because they know somebody. They're not there because they're big fans. So they're not there to watch the halftime show. The halftime show. What was that about? I watched it. Is what it is. Did you like it? Did you love it? You hated it. Some of you. Some of you thought it was I had several people text me and go, yeah, you know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought.
I watched some of it on YouTube earlier, and I thought, this is okay. I mean, you're not a reggaeton. Bad Bunny ain't sitting around going, how come we don't have him? He's in our demographic.
Yeah.
No, I'm not in your demographic.
That's exactly the big thing right there, right? The demographic. They're trying to get Latin America bad. They would like half NFL. This is the funny thing, they see the opportunity to have an NFL South America before they have an NFL Europe. And the reason is the time zones. It's easier to get to in certain situations. They see this as an opportunity of opportunities. And his numbers, by the way, I was going over, he gets 93 million listens a day on Spotify. 93 million listens a day.
Who?
Bad Bunny.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes total sense.
That's a lot of listens.
Yeah.
I mean,
the only person that even comes close to what he does, and she surpassed. They kind of trade off, but he and Taylor Swift.
He was number one last year.
But the two of them basically
that's it.
Own streaming.
That back and forth, they own it. Wonder what he gets for 93 million. Wonder what he gets. I would assume he's got a deal kind of like Taylor Swift, where she's cut her own deal.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So
I don't think the numbers would. The given numbers wouldn't necessarily matter.
Because what they say on average, if you get 1 million streams, is what, $8,000? Give or take?
Yeah, I think so.
So if he's doubling, let's say he gets $20,000 for 1 million streams, and he's getting 93 million of them a day, that's good money if you can get it. That's good money. And he had some, what was it? He had some, he had Lady Gaga came out, Ricky Martin. And, the interesting stuff. So he walks through the field, right? The cornfield and the fields. The first person he comes up to is a taqueria, that little stand. That's actually a real stand and a real guy that's from Los Angeles. Then he goes around and he does his stuff. Those people were actually married, by the way, which is, for those of you who don't know, they were married. They invited him to his to the wedding, and he's like, but you know what? You could do it live on the Super Bowl. So that actually was a real marriage, which I thought was interesting. And then I watched a bit of the other one. I didn't watch all of them because the reason was I have a little daughter who decided yesterday, hey, Dad, what? I'm going to pull my mattress out because I haven't done enough flips today. I turned around. She's got her giant, huge, like foam mattress, this big thing. It was like 100 pounds. She's pulling on her back so she could do somersaults all day in the middle. I'm watching the game. Somersault, 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 flip. And I'm just laughing. I'm like, oh, there you go. That's the beauty of kids.
I'm pretty sure it's not 8,000 a day. Because if it was 4,000 a day, that would 4,000 times 93 million is still 372 billion. So that's not right.
No, dollars?
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, if he gets 8,000, let's say he gets 10,000 per million and he gets 93, so, he's looking at probably, about he's making what, 90 plus 10,000, so it's a decent amount of money if he's getting that many streams a day. But I don't know how the streams work. Do you have to listen to the whole thing all the way through? Is it a new stream?
There's a minimum time that has to be captured before they count it as a stream.
Yeah. So Sandra's like, I don't care. I'm not into dudes in dresses. He didn't wear a dress, by the way, yesterday. For those of you not keeping score.
I did.
And he didn't wear a dress. You know what's funny is the whole dress thing. And I'm like, oh, so you hate Bowie? Wait, what? You don't like Queen, obviously. Or the Stones. Or then you start rattling off all of these people at one time or another who have blurred the line for some other reason, for whatever reason. It's like, come on. You didn't like it because it's not your jam. It wasn't meant for you. It wasn't meant for me. It was meant for a younger generation that they're trying to bring along. And here's the other thing, and this is what people don't forget too. The World Cup's going to be here in a few months. The NFL understands what's coming to their shores. And the fact is that not only is that an issue for them, that many of the big influencers this year chose to skip the NFL because the World Cup had already had them signed and wanted them to only focus on the World Cup.
Okay, I looked it up, and he made $30 million stream money last year, and that was for 19.8 billion streams.
How much did he make?
$30 million.
And that's just for music he's already got out there?
Yeah, that's just from streaming.
It's good money if you can get it. It's good money if you can get it.
Actually, that was just from Spotify.
Yeah, just from Spotify. Good God. Damn. It's crazy. So a lot of stuff to get to today. We're going to talk a little bit. The Epstein stuff is getting weirder and weirder. And if you haven't heard, apparently they put out a statement before they actually put it out. And it was dated the day before he mysteriously was murdered by himself. So that's getting weirder and weirder. Howard Lutnick in some trouble. Got a bunch of other stuff. And in Georgia, a case just got dismissed against a family who let their kid scooter on his own down the street. It's nuts. And wait till you hear what the family had to go through, but also what they asked the kids when CPS came into the house, which was also insane. We got some Olympic updates. Horrible crash from our good friend Lindsay Vonn. She ate it big time. Talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. This is the Monday edition of the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Da-na-na. The game itself last night was defense wins championships. That's what it was. It's defense. And Patriots defense was good, but here's the thing. If you can't protect your quarterback, ask Sam Darnold, who won yesterday. If you can't protect your quarterback, it doesn't work. And it didn't. That guy was on his, Drake May was being chased around everywhere. And you can't have that. Last year, it was the exact opposite. Sam Darnold was on Minnesota, got sacked 9 times in one game in the playoffs. That doesn't win you anything. It doesn't. I was talking to our big boss here. He goes, I watched some of the Olympics while the game was going on. So I'm not going to lie to you, I did too. I watched some of the Olympics and got into curling, which we're going to be doing on Thursday. So Matt and I, and if Ken wants to show up.
Tea time, right?
Yeah, T-Line.
T-Line
or Tea Time. T-Line, we're going to be out there. So I'm going to do my show from there. Matt's going to do his show from there, and then we're going to curl. Ken's coming out, so we're pretty pumped. I've been practicing, the whole going down thing where you go down and you got to try to glide along, and then you got to sweep.
Is Steph going to operate the broom?
I think she's thinking about going.
So she's going to operate the broom for you?
So, no. She's bringing a vacuum. I told her. So I watched, that crash from Lindsay Vonn. Whoo!
Did she get hurt?
Yeah, so she came around, it was 13 seconds in. It looks like her pole caught one of the
flags.
The flag things, and she crashed. And they had to helicopter off. She's had 2 surgeries today. She snapped her leg.
Whoa. And that was on top of already having her ACL messed up.
On top of already having the ACL messed up. So she's not going to participate anymore. They don't have that kind of magic over there. So when they're helicoptering you off, that's usually not a good sight.
Do the Olympic teams I assume they take their own doctors, but would they have a surgeon on staff?
Yeah, they have surgeons on staff. And each, the Olympic team probably has their own, the ski team probably has their own doctors. And so they took, it was a nasty, you're going 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour. But she was early into it, and then it was boom. So that's 2 weeks in a row she was taken off. And then our girl Breezy Johnson won. Breezy! Like me a little Breezy Johnson.
Wait, was she on Breezy's on the U.S. team?
Breezy's on the U.S. team. You get Breezy Johnson, and then there was, before that long ago, you guys remember Peekaboo Street?
No.
So Peekaboo Street was one of our great skiers, and her parents were hippies, like super hippies. They told her she can name herself. So when she was 5, she's like, I want to be called Peekaboo. They're like, okay. So they went and changed her name to Peekaboo. Otherwise, she was just a little girl. So I watched.
Like when Penn Jillette, when his wife was pregnant with his daughter, he was talking about the names.
Yeah.
And he wasn't going to give her a middle name. They didn't want to give her a middle name. It's like, their middle names are stupid. And somebody that's in his organization was like, you got to give her a middle name. It's ridiculous for not. So he takes this book he had just written. It was a novel. And he opens it up and just opens it up blind, sticks a finger in the page and says, that's her middle name. What's the word? Crime fighter.
That's a good name. Crime fighter indeed. So it was a bad crash, but the Olympics have been interesting. Obviously, there's it's the woke Olympics, it's this, that, and the other. At some point in time, it's like, come on, I don't pay attention to any of that stuff because it's just ridiculous. Everybody's fighting all the time over something. Why are you asking our people about stuff? That's the other thing. I saw that with the Australian Open, the tennis tournament. The only ones getting asked questions at all about politics outside of the Ukrainians about the war are our people about Trump. Let's let it go. Stop asking questions. Go out there and do your stuff. They've got enough pressure on them anyways. Try to win. Go team, go. So but I watched the curling is fun. I don't think I'm going to be very good at it. My thing is, I think I could probably do it once or twice where you get down, but it's the getting up on the ice. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, third time your hip's completely out.
Yeah.
It's like, Steph, give me a hand.
I'm going to eat crap on that. And the people I know that have, because I tried it a long time ago. We didn't take it very seriously. Like, we're going to take it a little bit more serious. One of the things we were talking about is if you watch people that start new, they'll look straight down and they'll push off. And their whole goal is to kind of go straight. But because they're looking down, they kind of fly off to the side. So it'll be fun. But that is this week. So if you have a chance, come out and hang out with us. T-Line on Thursday. Both Matt and I are doing our shows from there. And Ken will be there as well. All right. Coming up, some Epstein stuff. Talk a little bit more about the halftime show. A lot of people are curious about the halftime show. I watched a bit of both. I give my honest assessment. If you're missing the show, shame on you, got the podcast. It is Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Dude. And last night, we lost our mind, as we tend to do, because we have to make everything about politics. There were 2 halftime shows, because that's what we do.
Until you can. Until you can. If you got a chance, take
came out and he bombed to the bomb to dang, bombed a little bit, actually. Bomb being more the operative word because he lip-synced originally.
For that one piece or the entire?
Just for that one thing. You know, you guys know this, right? And you know this, man. And sometimes your voice just can't. I think the only thing it did live there was My Name Was Kid Rock, because I'm sure screaming like that, it doesn't, ain't going to last you. You're not 21 anymore.
Yeah.
Bobby ain't 21 anymore. But I thought he did a pretty damn good job there. It was what it was.
Where did they hold it?
That's a good question. Let's find out. Where do you think they held it?
Well, my mind immediately goes to Arizona since that's where Turning Point's located. But
then I think, TBN, the studios are located there in Tustin and in Costa Mesa, California. I think they still may be in Costa Mesa. Let's find out where was the TP USA halftime show filmed. But then I would think it would be right here, right? Atlanta, Georgia, at a warehouse. It was pre-taped. So, because you think all of them are country stars or in here on the West. I mean, they're here in the Southwest. So you're not going to take them across the country for, half a day. So, there you go. That was, it was okay. I mean, they had, I think overall they've had a lot of streams that have, apparently, so originally I went to X to find it. I was like, let's go on X. But right before it started, a few hours before, apparently they couldn't get licensing for some songs. And I thought, that's weird.
Well, that shows somebody screwing up way on the front end.
Yeah. So that ended up being a situation where you're like, okay, so you couldn't get licensing for some of that. So what ended up happening was they only did YouTube and Rumble. And I don't know if they're on. I don't know if they're on Twitch because I don't watch Twitch. I keep saying I'm going to, but see, at one point you had 6.1 million viewers on it, so that was pretty good, right? So overall, 19 million plus views on the YouTube channel, and going for there. So they think Bad Bunny drew over 130 million plus. We'll put it like second. Last year, Kendrick Lamar was the highest halftime show ever.
That doesn't surprise me.
No. So funny, I saw this comic talk about that. You guys are all upset about this guy because he's the expansion, because none of you understand what Kendrick said last year. And I'm like, maybe he's got a point there. The Kendrick Lamar was fun last year because you're like, is he going to say it? Is he going to say it about Drake? Yeah. Is he going to say Drake's a kid toucher or whatever he said? And he sure did. He came out and he dropped it. So that was, again, I thought both of them were fine. I didn't, I'm not freaking out like, oh my God, what about? He did his thing. And I thought, he's a reggaeton and trap artist. So he comes out, he does his thing. It was all how much, we're better together, love stronger than hate, all that good stuff. One of the interesting things, he climbs up on power poles in the middle of it. That is because lots of Puerto Rico from like 3 years ago still, or even from, remember Trump went out there when they had the big storm and he's throwing stuff to people? They still have places where they have no power.
What, do they use NES?
No, NES is like, we learned from them what to do. But which, by the way, I like how she came out. She's like, we're going to learn from this mistake. It's too little too late, ma'am.
Just fire her already. Just
go find that job that's going to pay you $260,000 to sit on a board where you don't have to be in front of anybody. And do whatever it is you do. Take your parachute and shoot away.
Yeah, float some air under it. Let it take you up into the sky, and where you land is where you live. Hopefully
you can't
in
drop
the middle of the woods.
You can't drop everybody now because, I think it's got to be the whole crew. Like, everybody's got to go.
Oh, I agree. The board's got to be replaced. I mean, those people were incompetent in hiring her, and they're stupid for supporting her.
Yeah. And then TVA, we're going to get into this, too, because they've come out and they're pledging fairness in their rate, the electric rate fairness, because now, and I've been telling you guys this for a while, what is coming with these data centers is massive, and be prepared for that. And TVA's come out as like, we promise we're going to have electric rate fairness. Okay, we promise that. I mean, you guys are only going to pay a little bit more. It's going to be okay. It's not just about how much you're going to pay, which matters, but also what happens with all of these things start like we had here, the power. If everything went sideways here with the power, and who do you think is going to get their power fixed first?
Data center.
The data center. If there's going to be rolling blackouts or brownouts, who do you think's getting to go down first? Us. They're the ones always and across all of these contracts that stay on. And they're going to pitch, there's going to be jobs. There's no jobs with these things. They build them up, and then that's all they need.
Are they getting tax breaks to build one here?
Oh, I'm sure they're getting tons of them. I mean, each place is a little different. I know Texas, like they were, wooing some places, to have people come out. And that's great, but, they talk about the jobs, right? And what happens? Yeah, there's jobs to build some of these, but you're not building intricate buildings and then everybody's manning it. You're building a building that's just going to, house all of these giant servers and computers and whatnot, and you'll have a few people that work there and some people that protect it. That's it. But the cost is through the roof. And one of the things I was interested last week, Elon Musk said data center power in the future is going to be in space. I'm like, I'd like to see that. So how's that working?
This scenario really sounds like they should have just said, we don't need a data center here. Peace out.
Yeah. Peace out.
I mean, if it's not bringing significant jobs in and it's causing a rate increase in electricity and they're going to be no, go away.
And if it's going to cost us more, if it's going to take up major areas in certain places, they're going to get tax breaks, and we're going to be the ones on the hook for some of that stuff, and we're going to be the ones who are going to be paying the price when it comes to the, whose power gets shut off first. Yeah, no. But the problem is Trump and Tennessee are so conjoined, and Trump is all about AI, and I love AI too, but I also like the fact that people are paying massive prices elsewhere when they were warned, and we're ahead of this. I like the fact that we're ahead and we're able to go and say, not so fast. I want to see what your fairness looks like. I want to go look at the fine print. What exactly is going to happen if prices go through the roof, right? Is there some sort of thing where we're getting a rebate back? Because TVA has already had enough issues.
Pamela Furr just texted me and said there's a bill in the General Assembly right now, HB 1847, which would make the data centers pay for their own infrastructure.
Yeah. That'd be great. Again, would be.
She's looking up the sponsors for me.
I appreciate that. And then, what TB just said, too, the amount of water. So the amount of water, depending on how big it is huge that it sucks up. Those things, cooling those places is hard, right? And you know this, Bell, like liquid cooling is the best, right? That's your little fan's okay, but liquid cooling for this kind of stuff is what's needed.
Yeah, if you've got a gaming computer, you want liquid cooling, not the fans.
So private companies can own and operate nuclear plants. I would love nuclear. Everybody's scared of nuclear. Everybody's scared that if we're going to get nuclear next, we know what we're doing. We're better at it now. The 3 Mile Island thing, let it go. I want to be the leader when it comes to data centers. That'd be great, but I don't want it to cost all of us 30, 40, 50%, 60% hikes in water and heating your home and energy prices, because that's not going to help us, right? I don't care if gas falls down to $1.50 if everything else in the house goes up by 60%. It doesn't help.
Pamela says Senator Brett Taylor in the state Senate and Representative Ed Butler in the state House are sponsoring it, and they are both members of the GOP.
We should get them on, have a little conversation, find out what they're doing. I mean, they're horrible for the environment. That's what TP said. They are. They are horrible for the environment. They are, and we can still do it better than other places around the globe that don't care about any of this stuff. But we need to take a look, take away the environmental stuff. So if you're like, I don't care about the environment, that's fine. Do you care about how much it's going to cost to heat your home, right? To cool your home? Do you care about how much it's going to cost in the summertime when all of a sudden your bill goes up by 200%? You're like, what? Go look at Virginia. Virginia, by the way, put up a whole bunch of them. People in Virginia are like, oh my God.
Well, in Virginia, also, the governor is now just starting the tax and spend cycle that is going to be huge.
She is huge. Gonna tax and it's gonna be great. No taxing here. She is, man. Like she's making Mondani.
I mean, she lied right out of her face during the campaign that there wasn't going to be some massive taxes put on the people, and she's just listing them off like it's her wish list.
Like she makes Mondani look like he doesn't even know what a tax is. She came out, she's like, hear ye, everybody pays more all the time. Tax, tax, tax. And I'm like, oh, goodness me. My speaking of Virginia, so the monks, we'll get to the monks, they're walking today. They're going to be they're going to try to get to Arlington, and where they're staying tonight is right next to my buddy's house. I'm like, dude, you got to go out and meet him. He's like, no, I'm going to go out. I'm going out. My other producer for my national show.
I actually finally saw a video on Instagram of them.
So, yeah.
And they were pretty bundled up, but they were walking in some cold conditions.
It's cold. It's cold out there, brother. It's cold out there, Brother Bell. It's cold out there indeed. All right, coming up, talk a little bit about the monks. Where are they? As their message is now getting bigger and bigger, more and more people are paying attention to them as they get closer and closer to D.C. We'll talk a little bit more about that, among other things, all straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997.
As quickly as you can, snatch the pebble from my hand. When you take the pebble from my hand, it will be time for you to leave.
Now it's time for your daily Monk March update.
Time for you to leave.
So the monks on their march left early today. They were in they're going to Arlington today. So their man is, Bell said, they got they're bundled up. Somebody asked me, are these the same kind of monks that are like the Dalai Lama? Not the same, kind of within the sphere.
Dalai Lama adjacent.
Yeah, they're all kind of Dalai Lama adjacent. So they are on their walk, going to get there. It looks like they're going to get there. So 120 days is what they said. So we're 13 days, 12
What's
days?
their final destination?
D.C. They're going to go to the capital.
Is there a place in D.C.?
I don't know what they have set up. I'm sure they have something set up. So they're going to give a big, this is a march for peace. And their whole thing is it's about peace. And they want to try to bring people together. Doesn't matter the faith. This is just about peace, kindness, giving people the opportunity, to see something different. Man, God bless them for it. Go do your thing, man. But it's been fun to watch them. And the outpouring of love they've got from, across the country. And the head, I don't know what you call him, Master Poe, the head monk. He, every time he goes somewhere, looks like a police officer or fireman gives him one of the badges. So he's got like a full thing of badges and stuff. He looks like a dictator from a third world country.
Oh, they're giving him badges as souvenirs.
Souvenirs, yeah. So they will be there. They say it's a 120-day march. Today's the 107th day. So what are we, 12 days away from that? So what is that, the 20th, give or take? 21st? And then they're going to give a big speech. And, barring, of course, as they like to say, is the weather. Because as you said, Bell, the weather up and down the East Coast still is pretty nasty out there. It's nasty. So we shall see. We shall see how that goes. It's going to be, I want to see what happens when they get there. What kind of reception they get. If I'm Trump, you know what? Hey, come hang out. I want to meet you guys. I want to talk to you. And they would too, because that's, that, and there's where Trump would pivot and you go, look, oh, that's really cool. So we'll see. We'll see with that. We'll see if they do that. And the dog is with him and the dog is fine. In the super cold, they said the dog's not walking. The dog sits inside the van with the heater on. Plus the dog had the big cone on because it had to have surgery, which is not good. I'm sure if your cat's ever had to have surgery and had to wear that cone, it's hilarious.
No.
No?
No, I've never had a cat that had to have that kind of surgery to where they have to wear a cone.
The cones are hilarious. Let's all be real. The cones are funny. So funny. Our dogs haven't had it because we got them when they were younger, but they were already fixed and the whole night. Same thing with our cat. But when they wear the cone, it's a little funny. It is. It is. All right, coming up, hour number 2 of the program. A little bit more about the Super Bowl and some of the chaos of the argumenting over the wokeness, non-wokeness, this, that, and the other. Talk a little bit about that. Epstein, chaos as well. Got some of your text messages. And there's plenty of them. The good, the bad, the indifferent. A bunch of other good stuff on the way. Reach out to us across all of our social media. We love it when you do. Make sure you grab that to podcast. Otherwise, shame. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.